Okay, in this video we're going to just do a technical example and calculate both the divergence and curl of a vector field, and then we'll consider one important theorem at the very end. Okay, so let's suppose that our vector field is in R3 and it's given by x e to the z, y z squared, and x plus y. Let's first find the divergence of this field. So div f, recall that div f is the dot product of our del operator with our vector field. So we calculate it by writing our del operator, which consists of the three partials for our field in R3, and this is dot product with x e to the z, y z squared, and x plus y. So the partial of the first component with respect to x will just be e to the z. To that, we're going to add the partial of the second component with respect to y, which is z squared. And the partial of the third component with respect to z is 0. And so this is the divergence of our field, depending only on the z coordinate of our point, of each point. All right, so now let's go ahead and find the curl of our vector field f. And this is the cross product of del with our vector field. So let's set that up. Del cross f will be ijk is our first row. Our second row will consist of the del operator components. And our third row will be the components of our vector field. So we have x e to the z, y z squared, and x plus y. Okay, so this is going to be our first component will be, let's see, partial of x plus y with respect to y is a 1, and partial of y z squared with respect to z is 2yz minus j, and partial of x plus y with respect to, partial of x plus y with respect to x, I think, is 1, minus partial, so that partial of x e to the z with respect to z is just x e to the z. And then we've got plus k. And let's see, partial of y z squared with respect to x is 0, and partial of x e to the z with respect to y is 0. So no k component. And so we've got a vector field that looks as follows. X e to the z minus 1. I'm just distributing the negative, and 0. And there is the curl of this vector field. All right, so just a couple of technical examples. And the final thing I want to do for this section is consider an important theorem. And this is that the curl of a conservative vector field is 0. Let's think about what this means. So recall that if our field is conservative, then, so let's suppose that f is a conservative field. That means that it is the gradient of some potential function. So then we can express f as the gradient of some function phi, our potential function. And so the components of f can be written as the partial of phi with respect to x, partial of that component with respect to y, and partial of the potential with respect to z. So this is a way in which we can write a conservative field because we know that it is the gradient of some potential function. And this theorem, what we want to prove is that if we take the curl of this vector field, we will get 0. So let's go ahead and set that up. the curl of this vector field, which represents any conservative vector field, will look as follows. So we've got our components of the del operator and the components of our vector field that is conservative. And so when we find each component, let's see what we get. So we're going to have the partial with respect to y of the partial of phi with respect to z minus partial with respect to z of the partial of phi with respect to y. That's our I component. Minus j component. All right, so that's going to be partial with respect to x of the partial of phi with respect to z minus partial with respect to z of partial of phi with respect to x. And then the k component will be the partial with respect to x of the partial of phi with respect to y minus partial with respect to y of the partial of phi with respect to x. All right, so there's our curl. Let's try to rewrite that a little bit and see what important things this might tell us. So we've got these are all second order partials. So we have the second order partial of phi with respect to y and then z minus second order partial of phi with respect to z and then y. Okay, minus j, you might be able to see something already. Here, second order partial of phi with respect to x and then z minus second order partial of phi with respect to z and then x. And then plus k, second order partial of phi with respect to x and then y minus second order partial of phi with respect to y and then x. And so notice that each component that we have here will be 0 because, so this is going to be 0, this is going to be 0, and that's going to be 0. And that's because mixed partials are equal. I'm using Clairaut's theorem. And so we have found that the curl of a conservative vector field equals 0. Now, we can also say this as follows. We can say the curl of a gradient field equals 0, which means that any gradient field is irrotational. So, an example of a gradient field is the gravitational field of the Earth. And you can imagine that that field ought to have 0 rotation, because even at the microscopic level, because everything's kind of coming down to the Earth, right? Or coming down to wherever the field is acting on. But let's suppose that it's gravity on Earth, then the field is pointing downward towards the Earth, and it's not moving any objects in any kind of swirl. It's just bringing everything down. So gravitational fields, of course, do have flux, but they have no rotation. So we have learned that the curl of the gradient is 0, or the curl of any conservative field is 0.